My chest no fucking blouse up. Bitch, I make it rain shower. You did that. They wanna know a thing about you. You still that.
Hey guys, Asif here at 3D Crypto. Hope everyone's doing well. And today we're going to be talking about FOMO 3D, the FOMO 3D contract, and a couple of things that I found out about the contract that have caused more questions than answers. And I would like to get you guys help about the whole FOMO 3D contract and some of my findings. So obviously we all know FOMO 3D got released on last Sunday. It's been out for about just over 5 days now, and it's been going well. Being going well is an understatement. It's been going brilliantly. Even though gas prices at the moment are extortionate, FOMO 3D is defying all the odds, and it is doing numbers that a lot of us did not expect. I'm pretty sure the dev team did expect that, but I for one did not expect these numbers this soon. As you can see, we're almost at 600 Ethereum in the pot, not in contract, in the pot. We've got in excess of 1,000 Ethereum in contract, but currently, as it stands, there's 600 Ethereum to be won. I'm guessing by the time you watch this video, we're probably close to 700. And if you said 1,000 Ethereum in the pot, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised, because FOMO 3D, as I said, is doing something crazy at the moment. No other platform, no other DApp is doing anything like this, and it just shows. If you look at the DApp radar, if you look at all the contracts, nothing comes close to FOMO 3D. Nothing comes close to P3D. So obviously, when the contract gets released, I always like looking at the code. I read through it. So if you look at the proof of weak hands 3D code, it always gives me a happy feeling when I read the contract, because it kind of talks about the old proof of weak hands contract and agent 232 and all the people that were involved in the previous proof of weak hands and the new proof of weak hands. So it's if you haven't given it a read, give it a read through. A lot of it is code that might go over your head, but there are some little nuggets in there that can kind of show you the way this dev team works, and it kind of how it's all geared. Really interesting stuff in the code, and a lot of people skip over the code. So I was looking through the proof of weak hands code, as I normally do, just to see if there's any mentions of FOMO in there. Couldn't find anything in there, so then I thought I'd give the FOMO 3D contract a quick read over, because I like looking at all the who was involved with it. They gave special thanks to people, and they are, you know, the team they're a smart bunch of guys, a smart team, and I like the way they operate. So if you can go ahead, anyone can go ahead and read the code. You can go there and it's kind of like read it. So I was reading it, and the first that struck me was it said Jekyll Island Incorporated 2018. So like, that's different. I haven't seen that before. So it didn't pay much attention to it. Carried on reading through the contract. It was all pretty much the same stuff, who was involved. So if you've got Inventor, Justo, Sunpunk, Manso, then they give special thanks to some people like Crypto Knight, Crypto Muck Pump, Jogfera, Incognito Joe, the whole community. Obviously my name's not in there, but hey, maybe in the next contract they can add 3D Crypto in there. Hint, hint. But yeah, so they just basically go ahead and give thanks to everyone who helped them make FOMO 3D and P3D come from an idea to an actual product, an actual platform. So yeah, if you read through the contract, you can read through the way it's all set up, the mechanics, the mathematics, the numbers behind it, the contracts behind it, and I kept reading through it, and I saw a couple of things through there that were different. So the first thing that I kind of saw was the Jekyll Island business, and it was there a few times, and it said private account. So then it said forward interface, private account, Jekyll Island Incorporated. So I was thinking, all right, okay, might mean something, but I didn't pay much attention to it. Carried on reading through the contract. The contract is kind of long, and if you look at it, it's a masterpiece. I can't decipher code 100%. I know bits and bobs of it. I know what certain things mean, but when I look through this, about 80% goes over my head. And I guess it's the same for a lot of people that are watching this video, that the code is very complex. It ties in numerous contracts. So it's tying in the P3D contract, it's tying in FOMO 3D, it's tying in the dividends contract. So there's all these different contracts that are tied in together, and they all work together. And the way it's been set up, it's just amazing. If you look at it, and you look at the way Inventor, Sunpunk, Manso, and everyone has, and the whole dev team has come together and made this contract and made this code. That's what I say, it's a work of art. I have been advised that Inventor is responsible for the code, writing the code out. Obviously, the whole of the team works on it, but Inventor is kind of the guy that does the coding. And that reflects in the way that you don't see Inventor much around in the Discord chats, because he likes to spend 99% of his time locked away just coding. I was speaking to him recently. He goes, I don't even listen to music because I don't want my attention to be diverted away from the code. So all Inventor does is code literally 24 hours a day. And his code, as I said, it's crazy. If you look through it, if you can decipher it, you'll be a good coder, I'm guessing. And the reason the code is so complex is because of the way of the mechanics of the actual project. And because it's so complex, it's very hard to clone. And again, when I was looking through the contract, I kept seeing this again, Jekyll Island, Incorporated 2018. And I kept thinking, well, what could this be? I haven't seen this in P3D before. Is there anything meaning behind it, or is it just a bit of an inside joke between Team Just? So when I go back to the bottom of the contract, I remembered right at the end of the contract, there was some mention of Jekyll Island, and it had a contract address next to it. So, no, it had an Ethereum address next to it. I wasn't aware at the time it was a contract. So I looked at the contract by going to the bit in the FOMO contract where it said Jekyll Island Incorporated, and it said something about a forwarding bank, and there was an Ethereum address next to it. And so I copied the Ethereum address, and I said, look, I'm gonna type that into Etherscan and see what turns up. I was assuming it'd be an account of some sorts, thinking, all right, it's an account, and it will have some balance. So when I put it in there and I searched for it, I was really surprised. See, this was also a contract. It had 0 Ether in the contract, but it was a contract. And I was like, strange. Why would there be a contract mentioned in FOMO which has 0 Ether in there? So then I went to read the code. And that's when I saw something strange. It said, look, Team Just presents Jekyll Island Incorporated 2018, Jekyll Island Corporate Bank Forwarder. And the code is all set up by Inventor. So no one else's name is on this, just Inventor's name is on this. And it's got a forwarder in there about FOMO 3D. And it just kind of got me thinking. I do remember Team Just mentioning Easter eggs, saying, look, Easter eggs are something that might be implemented or might not be implemented in the FOMO 3D contract. It just got me thinking. I'm like, what is this contract? Why has it got 0 Ether in there? So I thought, all right, the best thing to do is go and speak to Inventor. So I spoke to Inventor and asked him about Jekyll Island, and he said, look, just Google 1913, the 63rd Congress, and browse the contract code comments. And he goes, that's all I'll give for now. So it got me thinking. I went back to the contract, the Jekyll Island contract, and I went back to the FOMO 3D contract. So when Inventor mentioned read the comments, I'm not sure what he meant. So I went to the comment section, and there was a few comments there by some people, and there was one by Servant9, and he was very negative, and he's saying, look, the contract is extremely immature, the dev team is extremely immature, and downright scummy, and glad to have taken my profits from P3D and walked away a while ago. And then I was like, hold on, is that what Inventor meant? That comment, Servant9? So again, I was pretty lost there at the time. So I went back to Inventor and I said, look, Servant9, question mark, Jekyll Island, question mark. Thinking that Inventor wouldn't reply to any of my comments, and he was nice enough to reply. He said, look, you're so close, you're on the right trail, and kind of, he goes, look, you're on the right trail, follow it, and here's a map. And he gave me this map, and it says Jekyll Island. I can't decipher it 100%. That's what I'm putting this video at. So guys, if you know what's going on, if you've got an idea or a theory, let me know. Put it down in the comment section below, or meet me in the P3 Discord, drop me a message, any of my social media platforms, because the plot has thickened. This is interesting. All right, we know FOMO 3D is doing crazy numbers, but what is Jekyll Island? What is 1913 got to do with anything? What's the 63rd Congress got to do with anything? So I typed in Jekyll Island to Google, and it turns out Jekyll Island was a secret island where a meeting happened in 1913, and that's where the Federal Reserve was formed. So the idea of having a Federal Reserve or a centralized bank was formed. I'm not sure how this ties into the 63rd Congress, but it's all linked together somehow. So I've dug, I've got some information, but I've kind of hit a brick wall now. I'm not sure what to do with this information, how to go further. I have verified the inventor. This is a riddle. He goes, we're on the right trail. And it's the first riddle. So there's more probably hidden in the contract. So guys, if you know how to read contracts, if you know how to read code, if you have a good knowledge and grasp of it, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd like to hear how you guys think Jekyll Island, the Federal Reserve, the 63rd Congress, 1913, all link into this other contract that I found. You guys can do the same thing. If you read the contract code, you can go over to the Jekyll Island contract, read that code as well, and kind of look through it and see how it all goes back to the Federal Reserve. Because in the Jekyll Island contract, it does mention the Jekyll Island Corporate Bank, Corp Bank. So I'm kind of, as I said, hit a brick wall. So I'm not sure what more to do. I've asked the inventor, and he said, look, you're just on the right trail. And he goes, look, something happened there at Jekyll Island. And the only thing that I can think of is the Federal Reserve was formed there. So our team just trying to make their own Federal Reserve? I'm not sure, guys. That's why I'm putting this video up. The contract's there. What we'll do is in the video comment section down below, I will put the contract code or the contract address for Jekyll Island Incorporated down below, so you guys can go check it out. I'll put the contract address for FOMO 3D and P3D. Yeah, so guys, if you've got any input, anything that you think that could help me, or find out what exactly Jekyll Island Incorporated and the Federal Reserve has to do with anything, I'd appreciate it. The FOMO 3D exit scam is going well. Guys, if you want to jump into F3D, if you already haven't, into FOMO 3D, very simple, www.exitscam.me/info. That's the way to get in. I will put all the links down below, how to get into the contract and all the instructions. If you've got any feedback to this video, or any feedback in general, any questions, any comments, please, I'll be more than happy enough to have a chat with you in the P3D Discord chats. If you want to contact me directly, you can leave a comments in the section below, or hit me up on any of my social media platforms. I'll be more than happy to reply. If you haven't already got into FOMO, guys, as I said in my last video, now is the best time to get in. There will not be a better time to get into FOMO 3D. We are in the infancy stage of the first round of this brand new platform. I know gas prices are expensive, but guys, spending a little bit on gas to get into FOMO now, in the long term, you will get your investment back. People have already 100% on their return on investment within 5 days. So there's nothing bad that can be said about FOMO 3D in terms of numbers, because it's right in front of you. It is producing what it is supposed to do. It's exceeding everyone's expectations. If you're already on in P3 and F3D, you've got to get in now, guys. That's the only thing I can say. I will leave all the links down below how to get in. Guys, if you've got any information regarding this video about the Jekyll Island thing, I want to hear it from you. Please do let me know. Guys, as I always say, you work hard for your money, make your money work hard for you. And until next time, stay lucky, take care,